speaking of mix, we got a mixed bag of strategy, Krista. Looks like a lot of leaders came to pit road. Jeff Gordon, the 24, stayed out.
The one at Martin Truex was going to do what leader Denny Hamlin did, so they did come in. They talked about going fuel only, but no, it's a 4-tire change and a slight air pressure adjustment. Dick.
Kurt Busch is going to go fuel only. He has done that. They're playing the fuel mileage game. Matt.
Make it on one more stop after this. They're going to go a 2-tire change on the 11 and top him off with Sunoco race fuel. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon said his car had been the best they've been all night. Close call with a 43 of Bobby Labonte entering his stall. That's why Gordon stayed out.
Well, we also see that Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 88, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, all three Hendrick cars there, they did stay out.
Not sure about this move.
We had about 8 to 9 laps since they were last on pit road on that last caution. I felt like that everybody would come to pit road, but I did feel like maybe we would see some more of that 2-tire stop.
Been a good time to do it, I believe, but also I guess they're looking at their pit window. They know they got to come back one more time.
Yeah, no matter what, we still have one more pit stop to make with 117 laps to go.
Got a NASCAR question anytime? Oh, anything you want to know pops into mind about NASCAR, we've probably got the answer for you. You can get to our panel of experts. Ask the Pros, built by the Home Depot, foxsports.com/askthepros. Mother's Day tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Chris Devoda talked to some of the drivers about their moms.
My mom, in a nutshell, has lived her life and tried to pass on to her children really one simple thing. And that's the way I view my mom, and that is do unto others as you had done unto you. And if you do that, you're going to be okay.
I remember growing up, we didn't always have the most money to help fix the race car after we wrecked it, so she was always preaching, make sure you don't tear up that race car.
How she really taught me how to be a compassionate person and understand other people's feelings and what could be hurtful to other people. And that's something that she's instilled in myself and my brothers.
Treat people the way you want to be treated. I think that's basically what it is, and that's probably the best thing she taught me.
Now, the top 7 cars stayed out, including who we're looking here with Carl Edwards in the 99. Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Dave Blaney, Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, and Travis Kvapil all stayed out. The 8th place car, Kurt Busch, as they made note, fuel only.
And Mike, there's not a mother or father that hadn't sacrificed so much to get their sons into these races like they are here tonight. So moms would give up their days to make their boys happy.
Back under green with 115 laps to go. Hendrick Chevys 1, 2, 3, Toyotas 4 and 5, Fords 6 and 7. Let's see how this shakes out.
Well, I think what I would say I would have predicted a week before we ever got here is coming true right now. I said before this race ever started, if Dale Jr. wants to win this race, he'll have to beat Jeff Gordon. With 100 laps to go, Jeff Gordon would probably be in the lead, and there he is.
Jeff Gordon came in here just outside the top 12 in points after some pretty rough weekends over the last few races. Right now, as the points are now, he would actually be in the top 10 and 10.
Yeah, he's sitting right there. He's in good shape point-wise. This is one of his favorite tracks.
Can you see any marks on the right side of that car?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Nope. He is one of the best at restraining himself, racing when it counts.
And he has 27 starts here. He has won here 7 times. He has led almost 1,600 laps at this racetrack.
Wow. Kyle Busch passed Dave Blaney. That's 4th place. And they're about a 1.5 seconds behind Jeff Gordon, the leader.
You know, right now we have Hendrick cars running 1, 2, 3. Hendrick Motorsports, they have 12 Darlington wins.
Well, it's the guy that's running right there, not the 18 car. You got to give him a lot of credit, Larry. He has methodically worked his way from the back of the pack after a penalty to here he is fighting.
Well, the Roush cars continue to have issues. First it was Biffle and then Kenseth. Steve, what about Carl?
You know what, Mike? Carl Edwards just said the same thing Matt Kenseth said about 25 laps ago. I feel like I have a loose wheel. It's the exact same thing, but Carl's riding it out right now.
Okay, so now we think we've had 3 Roush Fenway cars that have fight loose wheels. Greg Biffle, we heard his interview. We've heard Matt Kenseth, and now we're hearing Carl Edwards complain about the same thing.
Yeah, well, there's got to be a common denominator somewhere. It could be a lug nut. It could be a lot of the kind of lug nuts they used to be. A lot of things other than just the changer himself.
Yes.
Let's go down to our Ford cutaway car. Jeff Hammond has some of the possibilities.
Well, right now, Mike, when you take a look at one of these one of these wheels has been up on the racetrack tonight. You can see one has already picked up the Darlington stripe. This is actually some of the wall that's stuck inside the wheel between the tire. The Goodyear is gone. Daryl's talked about that all night long. And you've also talked about the durability of this race car. Let me show you why. Last year we talked about 2 befores in behind here. Now it's the Dow Corning barrier that's between this door skin and the roll cage. This is what's keeping these sides off the wheels and giving these guys an opportunity to continue. And one other thing, you want to see what these guys were racing on last year? Well, here's a piece of the original concrete, asphalt, and it looks like concrete with all the white stones in it. Daryl's talked about the fact he's got a makeover, smooth as silk, also a really deep black finish right now, so it's a lot different than what we've been racing on, guys. But it's still Darlington, and the guys out front, well, his side still looks like mine. Clean, very pretty, and that's the way you want to finish it up tonight.
Thanks, Jeff, but not these 2 cars. Kyle Busch and Dale Earnhardt Jr. have both been up against the wall as second place changes hands. Kyle Busch is coming to the front once again, and another of the Fords has found a little bit of trouble. David Gilliland has been into the wall.
And coming off turn 2 over here, and he gets loose. A lot like what happened to Kevin Harvick, except he's a little further up the he caught the safer barrier instead of the concrete wall.
But Darrell, just a few laps ago when Carl Edwards, this is what Digger had to say. Digger, you better get back in the hole, buddy. There he comes. But when Carl Edwards was up behind David Gilliland, I noticed how loose he was. And finally he got in the wall on turn 2.
And Larry, we've been in the car with Carl a number of times tonight, and he's really working that throttle. In and out, like he's running on a dirt track somewhere.
Steve is still in Carl's pit.
Mike, his crew chief Bob Osborne just radioed to him and said, hey, your teammate Jamie McMurray just described the same sensation. It feels like a loose wheel, but it's not. Just hang in there.
Well, that psychologically might work. I don't know, but what about Matt Kenseth and what about Greg Biffle, my other teammates?
Yeah, Greg Biffle's quote, loose wheel, unquote, left a whole lot of oil in the center of under the car in his pit stall, and Biffle's out of the race. So some sort of component problem on the Roush Fenway cars as Jeff Gordon leads Kyle Busch by a 1.5 seconds.
Hey, I like the way this one's looking. More NASCAR action on Fox.